there's good and bad about this conversation. The good is that we're going to be, and you guys are sort of transitioning at Captain Chuck's too, a little bit to open water fishing and other avenues, because the negative part of that is ice fishing has not been great at all this year. Randy from Captain Chuck's too. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So yeah, the weather is not good out there. Although there are some diehard people that are on the lakes right now, not necessarily in their ice shanties, but because that's even more dangerous. But we've got ice fishing happening right now still.
There is some, I don't know if I'd call them die hard or die easy, because it might be pretty easy for them to die going through the ice. The ice is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it to anybody right now.
Yeah.
So
because it's like super slushy at this point, right?
It's slushy. The shoreline is what cracks more than, breaks up more than anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get out on the ice, it's not great. It's not it's pretty terrible.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Let's just say it's not safe. Yeah.
I mean, I see them with like empty buckets that they're sitting on.
Yeah.
Like they don't have much of shanties or anything.
They're
out
carrying
there.
as little weight as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ropes, hopefully the picks we've talked about in the past.
What is there certain? We talk about levels of ice and such, but is it so dangerous that maybe the DNR and others are like giving them warnings, or could people be ticketed and stuff like that, or is it truly at your own risk?
It's truly at your own risk. The only thing that they can give you a ticket for would be if the ice breaks apart, and they have to come rescue you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know you don't see it around here much, but like over in Saginaw Bay or the big bays, a chunk of ice will break off and float out. So what happens is the DNR, the Coast Guard will come and get you via helicopter.
Oh wow.
But you cannot take your gear.
Really?
They pick you up and you only.
Okay, yeah.
So your gear stays on the ice. There is over there some airboats that you can hire to go get your gear.
Okay. That's not going to be cheap at all.
It's not going to be cheap, I'm sure.
Wow. Well, and if you're just joining us, we're talking with Randy from Captain Chuck's 2 this morning, and there is a serious note about this, is that there's been multiple incidents here in the area of like dogs. We had a falling through the ice. We had one where, which was amazing, a police officer saved a fisherman because his dog alerted somebody at the road, and that police officer was able to throw a rope with the dog's help, in fact, to help that fisherman. So it's kind of a serious note, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've gone through up to my chest, and it is scary, and you don't forget it. So, I mean, it's one of those things, like, I was in and out of the water in probably 2 seconds.
Okay.
I mean, I was down and pushed right back up. I just got lucky. I happened to hit a bad spot.
Yeah.
And the rest of the ice around me was good enough that I could push myself back out, but you're not always that lucky.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's scary.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
So last night, one of my friends showed me what an ice dam is.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary. Do we have those here?
Not usually.
Okay.
Yeah, not
That's
usually.
scary.
Okay.
Yeah. It can be.
And define an ice dam here in the area. I mean, it's not by the beavers and stuff like that, but
Usually a lot of it's when it builds up to a peak. You see it up on the bay, like again to the bays. You'll get I don't know if they really call it an ice dam or not, but it's a peak that forms when the ice pushes together, and you have to go over it like a jump almost.
Yeah.
You have to try to find a flat spot to get over it. A lot of times your vehicle will bottom out, and I've run into it up on the UP before.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So,
If you're just joining us, Randy from Captain Chuck's 2 live with us in the studio. That kind of brings us to the next part of it, and we're going to be talking about an event that you're putting on, and really we talk about salmon fishing when it comes to summertime, summertime, and you're almost doing a pivot at this point to that open water fishing, because you were talking about this off the air with us. People are in boats and fishing like it's almost springtime at this point.
Right, yeah. There's people that are fishing PM Lake opposite of the guys on the ice. There's open water, and so they're fishing out of their boats, and they're doing very well for perch. So
Yeah.
Yep.
if you got your boat out and it's not winterized, or you want to de-winterize it already, I mean, fishing's good.
Yeah. Get in your kayak and go.
I don't know if I'd want to go to kayak in this cold weather, but
It's safer. Let's just say that.
it's safer than being on the ice.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you give any different advice to those individuals that, I mean, that has to be a little bit I don't know, humorous when you see somebody ice fishing and somebody then, fishing regularly, if you want to call it that. But is there advice that is something that you would give here in late January, early February in the conditions that we have right now?
The biggest thing right now this year is I would absolutely say just stay off the ice.
Okay.
There's years in the past, PM Lake, the way it is with the river going through it, there's years in the past that we've had people trolling, and they'll troll right up to the edge of the ice and then turn and go back the other way. And the people on the ice are on a foot of ice. But this year, it's not like that. I mean, they're on 4 or 5 inches of very slushy, bad ice. So my recommendation right now is just stay off the ice.
There you go. But there's other opportunities to fish. And so that brings me to my next question, which is, are we fishing with different lures and different gear this time of the year to make that transition? Because if you're a core fisherman, right, you want to get out there and you want to be catching fish now rather than sort of waiting a little bit for the spring transition. You get out now and you're going to be using some different tackle, right?
Yeah, it's the tackle you could use as far as actually catching the fish could be exactly the same.
Okay.
But the difference would be now you're going to be using like an open water rod. So you'd be using a longer rod and reel than you would normally through the ice. I mean, I know some guys that'll go out with the boats and still use their ice rods.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same concept. You're fishing straight down, just like you would through the ice. For perch, other species could be different, but
Janelle, we'll get you one of those tiny Snoopy poles. Throw that stuff out. No. Have you ever
That's
seen
more
a
like-
Snoopy pole?
No, but
At all?
I mean, I know like an ice fishing
she
pole.
needs like a Barbie princess pole or
There you
something.
go.
I can use Nora's.
There you
No,
go.
actually, we grew up a little bit, and we've got like a regular. I think it's a pink pole. Maybe it's purple.
Okay.
I want to say it's pink and black that I got from Captain Chuck's.
That
Actually,
girl. That's what
Very
we like
cool.
to hear.
All right, love it. It is 8:37. We're talking with Randy from Captain Chuck's 2, right there at the corner of Jabavi and US 10 this morning. And you brought this up a couple of times in regards to perch, salmon. Obviously, we're going to be talking about. So this is a different species of fish that we're looking out for and we're catching as the weather conditions are changing, right?
Correct. Yep. Once the ice comes off completely, you can get into the rivers now, but you won't be able to fish the whole, like from PM Lake into the PM River because of the ice right now. But if you start in the river, steelhead fishing's pretty good.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's not terrible by any means. You can go out and catch a couple fish, which is. When you're steelhead fishing, if you catch a couple fish, it's like catching 10 or 12 perch,
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
So you're having a couple fish is a decent day.
Yeah.
So
good eating.
yeah.
Well,
for sure.
it's pike right now, steelhead, and perch.
Yep, those are the
Okay.
3 mainly that people are chasing. I know they're doing really well on pike in the river. So yeah, it's you can't put a tip up out through the ice, so you might as well fish them somewhere.
Exactly.
Do you see that this season, I know you can't necessarily predict, but you interact with enough of those that are fishing out there right now. Do you see any sort of, larger fish coming out? You see any sort of close to record-breaking fish at all? Is there some good luck on our side this season?
Actually, the perch fishing has been really good.
Okay.
They have better sizes than we did last year. Seems like a lot of guys were keeping shorter, smaller fish. But this year it seems like the fish are averaging a bigger size, which is a great thing. Perch are slow growers, so it takes a long time for to get them that 10, 11 inch range. And we've seen a lot of those fish this year. So good. Looks like the fishery is doing good as far as the perch.
All right, looking forward to that. And speaking of salmon, take us through this seminar that you're going to be putting on.
Yeah, so Captain Dan Keating, I believe he's either Illinois or Wisconsin is where he's from. The guy's a renowned captain. He does clinics or classes all over the Midwest, mostly Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan. And what he does is he comes into the shop and he sets up a big screen and he basically walks you through. He always has one guest captain with him too.
Okay.
And they walk you through the basics from, I think the first day they do basic salmon fishing, how to set up like small boats like you and I would fish in, like an 18-footer, 20-foot boat. They'll teach you the right way to set up your rods so you're not getting all tangled. Just the basics. And then the next day they get into more heavy-duty things like electronics, how to run your electronics, how to control your speed, different things like that. So it's a great class, especially for people that are kind of weekend warriors that want to go out and catch fish and might need a little bit of help. I mean, I've listened to it while I've been working, and I learned stuff just sitting there while I'm at the front counter listening.
That's cool.
So it's a cool deal.
When is this taking place?
I think it's the 24th and 25th of February, whatever that weekend is.
Okay.
It's those 2 days, Saturday, Sunday.
All right.
You sign up. It's Captain Dan Keating. Go online and find him on there, and all the sign up is on there. The information on that. You get a free lunch for the day. And they break 2 or 3 times where you can shop if you want.
Okay.
So we kind of know what he's talking about by what people buy during the breaks.
Yeah, I believe that.
So, one break, everybody comes and buys orange stuff.
Right. Is this the guy? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Is this the guy that has the book? That
Yes,
you
he
can
does.
get?
He actually has several books published.
Okay.
Which we do have a few of them at the shop.
Yep.
So I think they're $25 a piece, but there's a lot of good information if you don't want to go to the clinics. You can go right and get a book. And so I've never read one, so I'm not sure how they're broken down.
Right.
But they're supposedly really good books. So we've talked to some guys that have read them and they really enjoy them. So.
All right. Looking forward to that. Did double check. 24th and 25th is that weekend.
Yep, that's Saturday, Sunday. Yep.
We'll put a link in the comments section on our Facebook page, both on Hot Country Hits 99.9 and Mom FM, as well as our YouTube, for you to sign up on that. So
perfect.
Get in, because I would assume that space is limited a little bit there
it
too,
is.
right?
I think we can hold 75 people.
Okay. All right. And that fills up though. That'll fill up.
Yeah, it should fill up. Yeah, I think last year we were a little bit short, but we still had like 70.
Okay.
So for
Very
both
cool.
days.
All right.
Yeah, and what we do is we just we roll all of our archery section into our shooting range, and then we set everybody up in the archery section.
Very cool. All right. Looking forward to that. By the way, Rebecca, she commented on our Facebook page, loving the perch, especially this time of the year. So it is pretty good, right?
Yeah, and they're one of the best eating fish out there. So
all right.
If you get a mess of perch, you can't go wrong.
There you go. Randy from Captain Chuck's 2 joining us this morning. Randy, if somebody else wants to shop, they want to reach you, all of that good stuff, take us through that if you don't mind.
Yeah, so if they want to get a hold of us via phone, it's 231-843-4458. We're in the corner of Jabavi and Ludington Avenue, 75 North Jabavi Drive. So if they need to get a hold of us, there's the 2 easiest ways.
All right, sounds good. And you're still working long hours? You're still busy?
No, we're still busy. Yeah,
Okay.
I just work a regular 40.
Okay, there you go.
This time of year, it's all about July, and then I'll be
Then you're
rocking
going to
and
be
rolling.
crazy busy.
Hunting season, all that.
Yeah, with
And
hunting coming
salmon.
up and salmon and so.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in as always, and thanks for taking some time to take us through.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. It is 8:43 now on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country